I would like to preface this video by saying that my friend wrote these questions and I answered them on the fly. Everything you hear is authentic and all in one take. Hi, my name is Dylan Bernal. I'm from Sandia Pueblo, New Mexico. It's just north of Albuquerque. I think I would be a great contestant for Survivor because of the perspective and life experiences I've gathered over the years. I grew up on a farm. I run a farm, and it's a huge part of my identity. My culture is the other biggest part of my identity. I'm actively involved in a very, very true and real religion. It's unique, and so a lot of those things I take with me in everyday life. I've learned to watch people over the years, and I think that's a huge asset for me personally. I speak when I need to, and it may not be what wants to be heard, but it may be needed.
So Dylan, what was it like growing up in your village?
Well, actually, I didn't grow up in my village. I grew up on the outskirts, by the river, on the reservation. But my village was a 20-minute walk. But in my experience, I had two sisters, no brothers. But so I grew up isolated a lot of the time. I have a deep love for all the trees in my land, and I spent a lot of time by myself as a kid.
How are you a competitor?
Well, I mean, like any kid, I grew up playing sports, team sports, individual sports. I have a deep love for the game of golf. It's taught me a lot about myself, and you learn a lot about your competitors too, and not just the people you play with, but the course itself. I think people forget that golf courses are alive, and they are competitors in it too. The natural world controls every other element that is out of our control, and I think that's the beauty of it. So you compete on every level, physically, mentally. So I've had a lot of experience in that way.
What's going to make you indispensable for your tribe?
Well, I have a lot of knowledge and experience in different parts of life that I think a lot of people don't. Hunting and fishing is a huge part of my identity and my culture, and I grew up on a farm, and the meat that we eat at our table is from our own beef. So I've seen the beautiful and the ugly side of life.
Why do you deserve a shot at $1 million?
Well, it really isn't about the money. It's about the thrill of competing, putting yourself in a situation that you would otherwise avoid. I think that the greatest experiences that we get are the unexpected ones. So the $1 million in itself would just be a bonus, a way for me to take care of the people I love.
How are you going to win? What is your strategy going into the competition?
That's a tough question, because we've seen over the years different strategies, winning and losing, and I've thought highly of both. But for me personally, I would just have to take my own personality and my experience into it. But, it really is a two-phase game, pre-merger and post-merger, and you have to respect both parts of that and collaborate.
What separates you from others? What makes you you?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a reservation. I'm Native American. I know my roots, and I'm very blessed. I'm part of a tribe, a community, and we all love each other to death. We would do anything for each other. My family roots are strong. I have a deep love for my land and my people. So I take those experiences with me every day, not just in a competitive setting.
Why should America visualize you as the sole survivor?
Well, I have a different way of life than most people in this country, and that's one of the beautiful things about this country is we all have different walks of life. I am indigenous, so to me, my land and my home is everything, and I think a lot of people in this country can relate to that. But, I'm bound to this land intrinsically, and I think that would resonate with a lot of people.
What does the show of Survivor mean to you?
Oh, that's the easiest question. We watched it, when I was a young boy. My mother loved it, and Wednesday nights we were ready. Thursday nights we were ready, and it was just a great way for me and her to bond, and you learn a lot about watching people, and I think that's the greatest takeaway.